Welcome to Remix EQ Live, where we are amplifying equity with a remix of information, interviews, and inspiration. I'm your host, Dr. Erica Tate, and today I am broadcasting live from Savannah, Georgia, where I live. For those joining us today, please drop a greeting of choice in the comments. Let us know where you are joining us from and the equity-driven work you do or aspire to do. And remember, Remix EQ Live is an experience that's meant to be shared. So I encourage you to hit the share and invite buttons and bring along your people, your network, your family, your friends, your peeps to join our Remix EQ Live community today. This season, we are broadcasting on LinkedIn and YouTube, connecting more broadly, growing our reach, and building our learning community. And while those comments are flowing in and those invitations are flowing out, I want to remind you that the Remix EQ Live experience offers us the opportunity to connect and build community with each other around the equity-driven work being performed throughout the world. And we do this by centering the work that is our guests and viewers share examples of what they do in their role or position as a way to illustrate the innovative, effective, and meaningful ways they advance equity in the spaces in which they live, learn, work, or play. So throughout the show and in the comments, I invite you to share with us what you do to make the world a more just place. It is the season 6 finale of Remix EQ Live. And in this episode, I am sharing space with the dynamic yet centered Dr. Kristian Edwards. She is the CEO and founder of Black and Green, a company committed to helping you achieve a holistic, non-toxic lifestyle. Our conversation today elevates her entrepreneurship that has empowered Black women, not only as consumers, but as artisans who create and sell quality, natural, toxic-free beauty, health, and wellness products. Dr. Kristian has established herself as a thought leader in the wellness industry and has broadened her reach through her talk show, The Black and Green, which dives into the issues that directly impact Black women, such as self-care and self-love. Well, let us begin this conversation for change. Welcome, Dr. Kristian Edwards.
Thank you so much. That's a wonderful introduction. I love your energy.
I love yours and I love that you're here. I'm so excited. So I am going to have you or invite you to introduce yourself. And as you do, please share 1 to 2 career or personal twists and turns that have led you to your current role.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as a lovely introduction, I am Dr. Kristian Edwards. I'm the founder of Black and Green, and I would love to share my twist because that is probably connected to my twist that I'm the founder of Black and Green. And so, on my career path, I was a professor at GW. Kind of that was my path. I was going to move up the tenure track and kind of really lean into academia. Let me tell you kind of what happened. I read an article that the products marketed to Black people are more toxic than the products marketed to anyone else. And I thought that was insane. I thought that was absurd. And so I went my own personal journey to try to change that. So I got very intentional about the products I was using. I started doing a lot of research, looking up ingredients, seeing what ingredients were banned in other countries, seeing kind of how I can make better choices. A bit about my personality is when I know something better, I want all those who know me to also do better. And so I got a little aggressive, snatching things out of people's homes, saying, don't use this, don't use that. And just like, no, don't use it. It's a better alternatives. And like, Kristen, we are not, our background is not in public health. Like you can't just keep taking our stuff. Just give us a list of stuff that we can use. I said, okay, fine, I can do that. So I made a Google sheet. I put all the stuff they needed on that Google sheet with links to all the different places where they can buy it. They came back to me complaining again. Kristen, we aren't going to hundreds of websites to try to find their stuff. We're used to going to one place now and buying and shopping for everything. I said, okay. So the wheels in my head got turned like, okay, how can I meet this problem? What solution can I come up with? So while my brain is turning, I read the book Our Black Year by Maggie Anderson, and it talks about a family's commitment to buying Black for a full year. And so I was moved by her writing. I want to also be an intentional consumer. I want to think about what I cared about and what I loved, and I want my money to match that. And so I wanted to support Black women-owned brands. I wanted to support indie brands. I wanted to be intentional about where I was spending my dollars. And so my light bulb was, I said, that's it. I can start a marketplace where it's all natural products that are non-toxic, and it's also Black women-owned products to allow us to kind of shop with our dollars. So that's the biggest twist and turn that kind of put me in a completely different direction than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I love that twist and turn. It was the twist, right? That got you there. And I love that what you were like, your personal curiosity and inquiry, like it didn't just stop there, right? Which is also powerful, right? That you wanted to find out how to live better, right, through these products, but that you were like, I must share it with everyone. And you went from Google Sheet to like Marketplace.
Exactly.
I love it because a Google Sheet is your friend.
I love Google Sheets. Oh my gosh.
But that's really great. I think it's wonderful I always love like it starts personal, but then it really becomes community building and changing for people. So we appreciate those twists and turns that you shared with us. And we have hello, Brianna Matchett. Good morning. Happy Friday. She says hello from Tallahassee.
Hello.
Yay! And for those who are just joining us, this is Remix EQ Live, and we are amplifying equity through a remix of information, interviews, and inspiration. And now that you've had the chance to meet or reconnect with Dr. Kristian Edwards, I hope that you're inviting others to tune in. And of course, I invite you to interact with us, post comments, say hello, ask questions throughout the show, share any examples or learnings as we dive into this interview. You are part of our Remix EQ Live experience. So now we center the work. This is an opportunity for us to listen and learn from Dr. Kristian about how she has centered wellness and Black women in her work to make the world a more just place. So Dr. Kristian, as the CEO and founder of Black and Green, how do you center and support Black women's wellness?
Oh gosh, that's an amazing question. Black and Green was kind of developed to center Black women's wellness. My dissertation was on health disparities and understanding the way that health disparities happen. And a piece of that really stuck with me is the product that we're using and how it impacts our health, and wanting to provide an option for people to be more conscientious about the products that they were using. Because after I started doing my research, what I realized is there's thousands of all natural, non-toxic products, but we just don't know about them because the traditional places where we were shopping, they weren't there. They aren't at your Targets of the world or your Walmarts of the world. So you think that they don't exist because they aren't in those large marketplaces, but they actually do exist. And so that was really eye-opening for me as I wanted to be more conscientious about what I was putting on my body, that I could find a lot of brands that were also doing that. Also, the beauty of Black and Green is that the product is only one piece of what we do. And so we understand that living non-toxic and living a healthy life is a piece of it is the products, but that's only a piece of it. There's also a piece about what you're eating, what you're putting inside your body, as well as what you're putting on your body. And also the second piece of it is like what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, who you're engaging around. I like to think of it as consumption. I want to think about everything I'm consuming, whether it's a book, whether it's a show, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a product, whether it's food. Be very conscious about what you're consuming, because everything you consume impacts you. It's on you. It's a part of who you are.
Yeah. I love that. I love the like holistic approach, which I know is like a cornerstone of your brand, but it really reminds us like what it means to consume and be a consumer, right? You really underscore that for us. I'm curious, like, how do you determine if a product is non-toxic? Like, how do you decide that this goes into our
So I developed a list called the Toxic 20, which were 20 ingredients that I don't allow on Black and Green. And the way I created this list is looking at what was banned in other countries, and what they allow on, what they ban in products, and looking at the research behind different ingredients to help me understand what are the health outcomes that are connected with these ingredients. If there was enough research that existed, then I banned that ingredient from Black and Green. I also use the tool, the Environmental Working Group. They have a very good platform for helping me understand the toxicity of certain ingredients. And so I get a EWG score for any product that applies to be a Black and Green and test to see how toxic it is.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I love that. The EWG, Environmental Working Group list. And then you have your banned products. Is that something we could find on your website?
Absolutely. I can drop it right in the chat for you right now.
Oh, sure. Awesome.
I find the Toxic 20.
Yeah, I love it. Now, as you're doing that, not only are you kind of inviting products in, but you're also an incubator for Black women artisan business. So can you tell us a little bit about what it means to be an incubator for Black women businesses?
Absolutely. So it's interesting. That's one of those problems I found as I was doing it, as I was building Black and Green. So as I'm building Black and Green, trying to create this website of all natural products, supporting Black-owned brands, women-owned brands, as I'm doing that, what I kept coming across was a lot of small businesses that they were also working another full-time job. They created a product because they couldn't find it, and so, but they really didn't know how to run a business. And so they were just they just created a solution, but didn't actually know all the things to create and do. But they had amazing products. And so a piece of the work that Black and Green started doing is pouring into these Black women artisans like, hey, we can help you create this business into being a successful business and understanding the way that business works and get you on more shelves. And so that incubator piece kind of formed naturally after we saw a need that our artisans had that we could fix.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I know you talk about like holistic health, but like your business is holistic in its approach to supporting Black women businesses.
Absolutely.
Right? Yes, I appreciate that. Well, I think I talked to you about that before, but I am a customer of the Black and Green. And that's how I came to invite you, or to invite Dr. Kristian on the show. And it really is a variety of products. I bought natural deodorant, I bought facial moisturizer. And what really excites me is that I bought my multivitamin. And I'm like, oh, my multivitamin is created by a Black woman. I just feel like more super.
I know.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yes. So it's very exciting. I mean, like, obviously Black women can create multivitamins, but they're not on the shelves. I didn't know that. And so by going to your marketplace, I was able to connect with something, and every day I get to put into my body something healthy, non-toxic, and made by a Black woman artisan. I love this word. I mean, never gonna stop saying it.
Nor should you.
It's really, I love it. Oh, so for those who tune in on a regular basis, you know that in our learning community, we celebrate the work, as Dr. Kristian has talked about with her Black and Green marketplace and incubator that she has for Black women artisans. But we also celebrate the works. And works are what our guests produce for others. So it could be books, talks, online content. We've had card decks, performances, articles, and talk shows. So today we celebrate Dr. Kristian Edwards' talk show, The Black and Green, with her guests, Black women artisans and entrepreneurs. Dr. Kristian invites honest discussions and tips on topics such as holistic health, entrepreneurship, relationships, self-care, and self-love. So I know that you talked a little bit about how Black and Green is more than the marketplace, and we're thinking about what we're consuming, but what inspires you to host the Black and Green show?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. So I feel like with Black and Green, I created Black and Green, and kind of one of probably the nuts and bolts of it is that I'm always listening and trying to understand what my customer wants. And so when I created, there was this big need, like, we're looking for products. We can't find our products. Please help us find them. So I said, okay, that's kind of where the marketplace showed up. Now, after the 15% pledge, it's a lot easier to find a Black-owned product. And so if you consciously want to support Black-owned brands, you can walk into the Walmarts and Targets and the CVS of the world now and find Black-owned brands there. And so it's easier to find products than it was when I started Black and Green. So because of that ease, my needs of my artisan are the needs of my customer are changing. And so I said, okay, guys, what do you guys need now? And they said, we need information. Like, we trust your voice, we trust what you're sharing with us. We just like we care about non-toxic living. We care about trying to be what we want to consume, but we just need guidance on how to do that. And I said, okay, like, so my brain started ticking, okay, how can I do that? And the Black and Green show was what I thought of for a way for me to have honest conversations with people that are unfiltered, that the conversation that you might not usually have, to talk about everything, so we can be a more conscious consumer. If you're thinking about what you are consuming into your body, what thoughts you're consuming, what strategies you want to use to kind of live more non-toxic, that we want to be right there holding your hand to support you through that.
So who should tune in to the Black and Green?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyone can tune into the Black and Green show who's trying to, oftentimes at the beginning of the year, I want to live more natural. I want to live more non-toxic. I want to care about my body. So anyone who's on that journey to kind of improve themselves, I have a personal mantra that I want to get 1% better every single day. And the Black and Green show is kind of help you on that path, help you on that journey to get 1% better every single day. But it was specifically made for Black women who often are ignored in the health space. And so what I want to make a space that was just for them. They can feel comfortable and they can feel seen and they can feel heard there. And so it's made for them, but not only for them. It was just made with them in mind.
Yeah, yes. And what impact do you hope to make through the Black and Green show as you continue to grow your community?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the most important impact for me is probably just changing people's lives, right? Like, that seems kind of big or broad to change someone's life, but I want to just change the way someone thinks about something. So, oh, I'll read my labels before I put products on me, or oh, I didn't think about the way that this impacted me, or oh, I will go see a therapist, or oh, I'll stop eating such processed food. Any kind of tweaks and changes that people make in their day-to-day decisions that can impact their health and impact their life, to me, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
I love it. I love it. Well, you heard it. I want you guys to tune in to Dr. Kristian's talk show, The Black and Green, on YouTube and TikTok, and subscribe. Right? That's how we show our love. Watch, react, share, and join the conversation.
Absolutely. And the beauty of this is I we're in a tough economic times, and oftentimes buying an all natural product can cost 3 or 4 times more than buying a traditional product. And sometimes people just don't have the financial ability to purchase a all natural product that costs 3 or 4 times more. So the beauty of subscribing to my YouTube channel is that's a free way for you to support Black and Green. It's a free way for me to still give you that information, to give you that help as you're trying to better yourself. You cannot afford a $10 deodorant.
Yeah. Yes, and that's great. I mean, we talked at the show, consuming is all that you consume, and information is just as important in that consideration for living a non-toxic lifestyle. So, thank you. Well, I want to move to the next part. So we love on this show to learn about your role, learn about what you do, and you have definitely dropped so much knowledge around that. But we're also interested in your journey. Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, as a Black woman entrepreneur in the wellness space, what is one common or unique challenge you face, and how did you overcome it?
Ooh, what is one common? I think the common challenge that probably everyone faces when they're starting a business is money. Where is the money going to come from? How can I get enough money to invest in my dream? How can I make this happen? Like, money. I think money can often be it's not a unique challenge at all. It's a challenge that impacts everyone. And I think that what I have found or learned the beauty of authenticity, that when I am authentic and I am being true and communicating what I'm learning and what I'm creating and what I'm doing, the support comes. even though I can't spend $1,000 a day on social media ads, even though I don't have the capital to make some choices, I've learned through my lack of capital, being honest, being transparent, being yourself, and being consistent can still pay.
Yeah. Yeah, those are really strong principles for not just owning a business, living your
And
life.
but I mean, that's an interesting point. Like, businesses reflect who you are, right? And so if you're trying to start a business and you want to start a business, you have to make sure that yourself is right, because yourself is going to show through your business. So if you want a business to kind of meet certain goals and do certain things, get yourself there, because it's going to reflect that.
Yeah. People, what do they say? Like, people love brands, but they love the people behind the brands more. If they can make that connection and it's something that they not just like enjoy, but something that really like resonates or aligns with their values or their ideals or future, then they'll find ways to support.
Yeah, because I think it comes back to, people want to feel proud about where they're spending their dollar. They know there's a million places that they can spend it, but they want to feel proud, and they want to spend their dollars with brands and people and founders that they know are consistent with their own mission, vision, and values. Like so I think because of that, showing up and talking about your mission, vision, and values allows your customers to find you.
Yes. Well, that's a great piece of advice. That was my next question. So I'm gonna get another tidbit from you. Good. I was like, what advice do you offer Black women entrepreneurs in the wellness space, in addition to what you just shared?
Yeah. I think my biggest piece of advice always is to trust your gut and trust your instinct. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. When I first started Black and Green, and I had a vision of Black and Green only being products created by Black women, I got a lot of pushback. Are you sure you want to do Black women? Doesn't that feel racist? You're leaving other women out of it. Like, I got a lot of resistance. And it could have been easy for me to say, okay, I hear your resistance. Okay, I'm not. But something was like, no, like no, like my gut is saying Black women need this space, and not people of color, and not not the diaspora, just Black women. And so that was really important to me, to create a space for Black women, and I think that paid off. That I created a space where they could feel seen, they can feel heard. We're spending billions of dollars in the healthcare industry and in the beauty industry. And so creating a space just for them was okay.
Yeah. It is okay. Brianna Matchett agrees with you. She's like, yes, we do. That's right. Well, I'm so grateful for your creation of this space, and not just a space like a retail space, but really a space that fills us, right, and really empowers us. Whether you're the artisan who's making the product, or the consumer who wants to support them, or the listener or viewer to the Black and Green show, right? Like, it's really like, I always very much appreciate when there's opportunities for community to happen, and you've given so many entry points into community, into community of care and compassion. And so I appreciate you creating that space. I appreciate the fact that I can just keep finding more products made by Black women. like I got next year, I think I just need to, like, how can I redo my whole health and beauty regimen? So that I'm always supporting Black women and myself with my self-care. But it's great. No, it's really wonderful. So I'm so glad you shared about it. I would love for you to drop just one more piece of inspiration for us. Just because we love to leave informed and inspired, from the show. So Dr. Kristian, remind Black women why we must prioritize our wellness throughout our life journeys, be it professional or personal.
Why we must prioritize. because we matter. And if we don't prioritize it, we can't expect anyone else to. So I think it's an amazing act of self-love and self-care to prioritize yourself as much as you prioritize all those around you. That once you understand that me pouring into me filling up my cup gives me space to be able to fill up someone else's cup, to be able to pour into someone else's kid, and pour into my children, or pour into my spouse. You can't do that if you're empty. You can't pour from a dry cup. If you have the desire to pour, make sure you fill your cup up first so you have some overflow. You don't want to pour from an empty cup. So I think my biggest advice is take care of yourself because you love yourself. And when you love yourself and you take care of yourself, it allows you the space to take care of love others.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kristian Edwards. Oh, I appreciate you pouring into us. May you keep overflowing. Your cup overfloweth. I thank you so much. I appreciate you, Dr. Kristian Edwards, for accepting my invitation to speak about what matters most to you.
Absolutely.
And I'm grateful for the opportunity to listen and learn from you, especially why and how you have chosen to make the world a more just place. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, of course. So I just have a few reminders before we close out. This is the season 6 finale, and I want to take time to thank my team, Kristen Cellini and Brianna Matchett. Woo! For their support and energy for making Remix EQ Live experience an amazing experience for our guests and our viewers. And so thank you, because we've gone through 6 seasons. And it could not have happened without you. So I just wanted to show my appreciation. We will be back in 2025 with season 7. And I guarantee you in there, we're going to do a couple of celebrating 50th. So get ready, get excited. The guest lineup is shaping up and you are sure to be informed and inspired. So please tune in on LinkedIn and YouTube. Also like and share our episodes with each others. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and just be sure to watch your feed and check your inbox. In the meantime, press play on our Remix EQ Live podcast on the Blue Knowledge YouTube channel. The past 6 seasons have yielded a substantial and inspirational body of work, nearly 50 episodes, which have been curated into playlists for your viewing and listening pleasure. So if you love today's show with Dr. Kristian Edwards, be sure to check out our following Remix EQ Live playlist. We have an entrepreneurship and economic empowerment playlist where our informative and inspiring guests share their examples and strategies for entrepreneurs to start and grow successful businesses. And we also have our Amplify Women playlist, where we are amplifying the voices of our women social justice warriors who are working to make the world a more just place. And there you'll find a Dr. Kristian Edwards episode, as well as others who are working to make the world a more just place. I also invite you to check out my TED Talk entitled Building Community to Make the World a More Just Place. It was inspired by the Remix EQ Live show, both guests and viewers. And then I also invite you to visit the Remix EQ Live webpage for episode announcements, recordings, and more information about inspiring guests like Dr. Kristian. While you're there, please discover new ways to support the Remix EQ Live community, such as a love offering or a donation, or you can purchase our merch, such as our message tees. And we also have lovely notebooks for you to write down your thoughts as you consume all types of non-toxic information from all the talk shows by wonderful Black women out there pouring into you. Okay. And while you're on the show's webpage and engaging in a bit of justice-inspired retail therapy, please poke around on the website and learn more about my business, Blue Knowledge, which advances equity in schools and communities through collaborative research, inclusive evaluation, and equity-driven professional and community learning. You can follow us on LinkedIn, the Blue Knowledge YouTube channel. You can subscribe to a newsletter. And of course, you can just connect with me in these digital streets. I'm happy to connect with more. So thank you, Remix EQ community, for your engagement, your encouragement, your rally, which is how we recognize, appreciate, learn, love, and take care of you as you work to make the world a more just place. I'm your host, Dr. Erica Tate, and this is Remix EQ Live. See you next year.